Now I'ma need your energy high, like we vibing at Soul 5.
Let them know.
Peace everyone, it's Leah from Soulfire Farm. First want to shout out Amani for coming up with Soulfire in the City. We are at Ranya's house building a garden. So the first thing we have to consider when siting the garden is the sun. And especially in urban spaces where sometimes there's walls and trees and things close by, we want to make sure we have maximum southern exposure. So I'm taking out Google Maps. I'm going to find which way is north. It's this way. The sun is in the south in the northern hemisphere, which means that I want to try to get as much southern sky on my garden as possible. So we're tucking this garden over on this side to get the southern sky. We have not tested the soil for lead or arsenic, so we're putting down the 8x4 piece of landscape fabric because our 8x4 bed, it will prevent the soil from underneath coming on up, and it will prevent the plant roots from going down into the soil below. Hemlock, which is a rock resistant softwood. They're 2-inch by 10-inch pieces, and this is 8 feet, 8 feet, 4 feet, 4 feet. The way you get the 4 foot is you just cut it 8 foot in half. So if you're buying lumber, you just get a lot of 8-footers. We also have an impact driver with a Phillips head bit. We have a bunch of 3-inch galvanized exterior screws. Some 1.5-inch screws. These wonderful angle for reinforcing the corners. So those are our basic materials for today. First, we're going to assemble our box, and in order to make it stronger, because when you fill a lot of soil and water into a bed, it's going to want to kind of fall apart. We're going to go in 2 directions. So first thing I'm going to do is start my screws on the ground because it's a lot easier than starting them upright, especially because I'm by myself because it's COVID time. I'm going to go 1 inch in right here, slightly at an angle, just to start my screw at the top and the bottom. And then here on this piece, I'm actually going to start 3 screws, not at the top and the bottom, but in the middle, like this. This is called toenailing when you go at an angle. Here we go. Alright, so this is going to be a total of 5 screws. And the reason you don't go straight in is because anytime you put a screw through the end grain, it's weaker. So I'm just putting the screws like crosswise. It can be nice if you have like a board to put under your corners because it helps you level them out when you're screwing them together. Otherwise you have to kind of shimmy it a little bit. I'm trying to make it as nice and square as possible. Now you might be thinking, why don't you build this in an easier place and carry it? Well, it's coronavirus, man, so you gotta build stuff where you want it, because you can't carry it all by yourself.
Say we got more on the way, cause the soil rich, fertile too. You can tell by the taste, got the harvest by the bundle, generating no waste. You and I stay on the beats, high from BLFI right to them streets. Yeah, and we deserve to just eat, cause rebels gonna need that good food with the movement. You feel me? Smooth tip, prove it. Real me, wet like rain on the leaf. Wet like rain on the leaf. Prep the beds, make them fleet. Prep the beds, make them fleet. Don't forget to yank them weeds. Yeah, I'm down for blessing, drinking, hanging out the car window, delivering delicious, nutritious things to my kinfolk. And then crescendo in my teeth, making waves to shut down the system. Racism, patriarchy. Live on 8, we got a renaissance button. I said it's growing at your feet. Now we gon' dance every day. With that Soulfire Farm, time to feast.
I pick my crops in the presence of ancestors. These taters here got me thinking of Grim Dresser when we was on a half-plan, half-processed diet. This Brooklyn, New York girl, so defiant.
11 inches. Oh, not bad. This is 110 3/4 of an inch. So the next step is to give a little extra reinforcement to keep this. This will give you an extra year or 2 on this bed, which is a lot. is to take these angle brackets and you just nail or screw them on the interiors like that. It just gives a little extra reinforcement. 2 or 3 nails on each side, on each of the angles with these brackets, and then that's just going to strengthen your overall box. So our next step is we're going to fill the box with compost and start planting.
I said, grab, hoe, plant, seed, till harvest. Grab, hoe, plant, seed, till harvest.
We're going to plant peas on the north side of the bed so it doesn't shade everything else out. We want that southern sun. And I'm just doing a really simple DIY trellis using things you can find at home instead of the fancy stuff. So any kind of sticks, any kind of string. And then you plant the peas right at the base and they're gonna climb up the trellis. And vertical gardening is really great in small spaces because it makes good use of your space. Like, you're only gonna take up that little bit with the peas, but they're gonna go up instead of going out and taking over your whole garden. You can make this whole thing a trellis if you want. You could also cucumbers climb, squash climbs, pole beans climb.
Roar like I'm lying, try to silence me, not knowing that I'm the lettuce in the topping of the salad. Looking at Soulfire Farm, they got us started. We are growing every day, no space to be broken hearted. Yo, when they wanna nip your bud, what that say about you? You ripe and finna overcome, that's what that say about you. Feel that wind around you.
Maybe your family picture be all in front of the garden.
Grab, hoe, plant, seed, harvest. This.